Hello friends, welcome to our channel IAS Help Desk. We have started a new series related to previous year questions where we'll be having a detailed discussion on previous year questions as what kind of questions UPSC is asking these days and how we can prepare for those topics. Also, we'll try to cover as much as possible through previous year questions via the question and the detailed discussion of it. So let's start. Today's topic is Preamble to the Constitution. So we all know that this is a favorite topic for UPSC where it frames beautiful questions related to facts and the terminologies of it. So if we are not clear about the preamble terminologies and the words that has been engraved in it, so we might get confused within the options. So first let me tell you what preamble is. So the preamble, it has been taken from Latin word preambulus, जिसका मतलब होता है introduction. So the preamble in itself is a kind of introduction to our constitution. Also, it defines a source of the constitution, where it states about the purpose, philosophy, the uses, ideas, and also the inspirations, the principles, and the objectives of the constitutions. Therefore, the preamble to the Constitution of India is a brief introductory statement that states out the guiding purpose, principles, and philosophy of the Constitution, and it gives an idea about the following, like the source of Constitution, as I said, nature of Indian state, a statement of its objectives, and the date of its adoption. So, as we all must be knowing that Indian constitution is one of the bulkiest constitution, is one of the lengthiest constitution in the world. So if we have to introduce our constitution and the inspirations as well as the source of our constitution makers, so we can introduce this preamble and we can define that what our constitution is expecting as well as delivering. So now the question is, who drafted our preamble? So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he drafted an objective resolution 1946 on 13th of December. So that objective resolution, where everything, that what kind of rights and liberties and what kind of expressions and freedoms that we will be having in our constitution, it was all given in that objective resolutions. So that resolution, it got adopted as a preamble on 22nd January 1947. Also, the preamble embodies the basic philosophy and fundamental values like political, moral, and religious on which the constitution is based on. Also, it contains the grand and noble vision of the Constituent Assembly, as I said, and reflect the dreams and aspirations of the founding fathers of the constitution. The preamble, though not an operative part of the constitution, it aids in the legal interpretation where the language of the constitution is found ambiguous. Also, it declares the basic type of government and policy which is sought to be established in the country. Now let's see our next slide where we discuss about the terms being mentioned in the preamble. So preamble की जो पहली लाइन है, we the people of India, इससे ये शुरू होती है. तो ये इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के सोर्स को डिफाइन करती है, which means Indian constitution is made by the people of India itself, and it has not been like it is there was some foreign body or there was some foreign power which made the Indian constitution, because there was a constituent assembly formed on behalf of people of India and they drafted the Indian constitution. Therefore the Indian constitution iska source hai we the people of India. After that, we have 5 different terms, that is sovereign, socialist, democratic, republic, secular. ये 5 terms preamble में Indian constitution के nature को define करते हैं. And the terms after that, justice, liberty, equality and fraternity, ये Indian constitution के objective को define करते हैं. Now let's see these terms one by one. So the first one is sovereign. Sovereign का मतलब है कि India is an independent country and it governs and manages its internal as well as external affairs of its own. जिसका मतलब है कि there is no any external interference in managing all these affairs. So our next word is socialist. So this socialist word, it was added by the 42nd Amendment, and it ensures that the wealth that is generated in the country, that should be shared equally by the society. and government should regulate the ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic equality. So basically the objective is to establish a welfare state. And our next word is secular. So this word also got added by the 42nd Amendment Act, and it means that the state will not have any religion of its own, which means state has no religion. And also on the other hand, individuals can freely practice, profess and propagate their religion. इसीलिए इंडियन सेक्युलरिज्म को पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव सेक्युलरिज्म भी कहा जाता है. एंड इसके बाद जो वर्ड आता है वो है डेमोक्रेटिक, विच मीन्स रूल ऑफ द पीपल. सो यहाँ पर इसका मतलब ये है कि जो गवर्नमेंट है वो लोगों की अथॉरिटी से बनेगी, यानी कि बाय द विल ऑफ द पीपल. ऑल्सो डेमोक्रेसी के टू टाइप्स होते हैं, लाइक इनडायरेक्ट एंड डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी. सो इंडिया में इनडायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी फॉलो की जाती है, विच इज ऑल्सो नोन एज रिप्रेजेंटेटिव डेमोक्रेसी. And the next word we have is republic. So basically it is the opposite word of monarchical form of government. यानी कि इंडिया के जो हेड है, हेड ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, एंड हेड ऑफ द स्टेट, प्रेसिडेंट, दोनों ही इलेक्टेड हैं and they are not hereditary. And then we have justice, which has been mentioned as like citizens cannot be discriminated on the grounds of caste, religion and gender. Also the social inequalities have to be reduced. And then we have liberty, which means that there are no unreasonable restrictions on the citizens in what they think or how they wish to express their thoughts and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts and actions. Also, we have equality. All are equal before the law. The traditional social inequalities have to be ended. The government should ensure equal opportunity for all. And then we have fraternity. So all of us should behave as if we are members of the same family. No one should treat a fellow citizen as inferior. So this was something like we discussed the terms in the mentioned in the preamble in detail. एंड इससे ज़्यादा और कुछ जानने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. द मोर वी सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस द मोर वी विल बी गेटिंग क्लैरिटी. ऑल्सो देर आर one or two number of cases which will be seeing along with the questions itself. So let's move on to the question part. So here we have our first question. What was the exact constitutional status of India on 26th January 1950? The first option is a democratic republic, second a sovereign democratic republic, and then a sovereign secular democratic republic and a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic. Which means कि 26 जनवरी 1950 को इंडिया का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल स्टेटस क्या था और इंडिया का स्टेटस क्या था. तो let's start from the last option, from option D, a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic. So obviously India sovereign country था उस वक्त. And also we read in our 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in our discussion, which added socialist, secular and integrity, 3 word इसने add किया था हमारे preamble में. So obviously this 42nd Amendment, it got added in 1976 and this question has been asked in the context of 1950. So in the given option, sovereign, socialist, secular, that means secular is not one of the option, even the socialist is not one of the option. Okay, so these two it got discarded, so the option would be sovereign democratic republic. So now let's move on to our next question, which is the preamble to the Constitution of India is a part of the Constitution which has no legal effect. Option B, not a part of the Constitution and has no legal effect either. Also a part of the Constitution and has the same legal effect as any other part, or a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. इस क्वेश्चन के इसमें 2 क्वेश्चन हैं कि whether the preamble is a part of the Constitution, और अगर preamble Constitution का part है then whether it has legal effect or it doesn't have any legal effect. So to understand this, we have to be aware about Article 368 in the Constitution, which talks about power of Parliament to amend the Constitution. So there was a case of Berubari Union and Exchange of Enclaves, जिसमें Parliament ने ये बात कही कि Article 368 के थ्रू Parliament Constitution के किसी भी पार्ट को amend कर सकती है, लेकिन preamble is not a part of the constitution, hence it cannot be amended. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये कंसिडर नहीं किया कि प्रियम्बल भी पार्लियामेंट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का वही हिस्सा है और उसी तरीके से अडॉप्ट एंड इनैक्ट किया गया है। तो अपनी इस गलती को सुप्रीम कोर्ट रेक्टिफाइड इन केशवानंद भारती केस। And in this Keswanand Bharati case, Supreme Court observed its previous mistake and it rectified, saying that preamble was also taken, adopted and enacted in a similar manner like the other part of the constitution. और जिसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि preamble भी constitution का part है। And Article 368 के through Parliament preamble along with the constitution को भी amend कर सकती है। लेकिन there is a condition that it should not disturb the basic features being enshrined in the preamble or the constitution. Basic feature particularly defined नहीं है, लेकिन basic feature is the essence that has been seen in the preamble as well as constitution. Basic feature यानी कि socialist, secular, ये सारे words जो हमने discuss किया है इस तरीके का। तो now the question is like 42nd amendment जिसके through ये 3 नए word हम लोगों ने add किया था, तो सवाल ये हो सकता है कि फिर ये 3 word कैसे add हो गए। So as you can see, ये जो 3 नए word add हुए थे ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के या फिर प्रियम्बल के बेसिक फीचर्स के साथ छेड़छाड़ नहीं कर रहे थे। They are not disturbing any of the basic features. Therefore, the bottom line is, in Keswanand Bharati case, the Supreme Court held that the preamble is a part of the constitution. It observed that the preamble is of extreme importance and the constitution should be read and interpreted in the light of the grand and noble vision expressed in the preamble. Also, the preamble is non-justiciable, that is, its provisions are not enforceable in the courts of law. So here the proper option, that is option A, preamble is a part of the constitution but has no legal effect, is the correct answer. So let's move on to our next question, which is question 3. Which one of the following objective is not embodied in the preamble of the preamble to the Constitution of India? So liberty of thought, economic liberty, liberty of expression, liberty of belief. So यहाँ पर हम लोग क्लियरली समझ पा रहे हैं कि लिबर्टी यानी कि इकोनॉमिक लिबर्टी की बात नहीं की गई है। लिबर्टी ऑफ थॉट यानी कि प्रियम्बल इट डेफिनेटली मेंशंस अबाउट लिबर्टी ऑफ थॉट, एक्सप्रेशन, बिलीफ, फेथ एंड वर्ड्स. So as we saw in a previous slide where we studied about the basic terms, the terminology that is being mentioned in preamble was liberty, which states that there are no unreasonable restrictions on the citizens in what they think, how they wish to express their thoughts, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts and action. So clearly, it is not talking about liberty, economic liberty into it. Now let's move on to our next question, which states that the mind of the makers of the Constitution of India is reflected in which of the following. So this question is very much clear, और अगर आपने डिस्कशन में ध्यान से सुना होगा तो ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इजीली समझ में आएगा व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन। जब पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन लेकर आए थे जो कि एक समरी और एक काइंड ऑफ इंट्रोडक्शन था पूरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का, जिसमें ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट हिज एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ राइट्स एंड लिबर्टीज, ऑल्सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस we can have from our constitution. So everything got summarized in that objective resolution and that got adopted as preamble. So definitely preamble is the reflection of the of the makers of the constitution. So A is the correct answer. So the term preamble, it refers to the introduction or preface to the constitution. It contains the summary or a sense of the constitution. It also specifies the objectives of the constitution such as justice, liberty, equality and fraternity as the objectives. So here is the end of our video. I hope this video added some clarity to your knowledge on preamble to the constitution. And we, as I mentioned, that we have started this series of discussion where we'll be discussing about previous year questions and covering topics. So please follow our channel and subscribe to it so that we can add some more clarity as well as discussion of previous year questions. क्योंकि questions के साथ topic को cover करना और आसान होता है. Also, it is a holistic approach towards your UPSC examination.
So thank you so much for your time and patience.